Hey guys, so I have a Krank driver that I've got the opportunity to review. I've played about 4 rounds so far with it. Um, First off, when I received it, I love this head cover. This is the Maurice Allen head cover. He was the World Long Drive Champ in 2018, and I just really dig this head cover. That thing is cool. Um, so the way this thing happened is I was talking with Lance at Krank, and he was specifically matching me for this driver. So he asked me a bunch of questions. I gave him my average swing speeds, which I've measured over the last 2 months with a SC300 launch monitor. I've kind of been averaging about 130 to 132 miles an hour with the driver. He asked me a few questions, wanted to kind of know my speeds, my launch angles, how far I was driving the ball. And I was telling him, I hit the ball very, very high with a 9-degree driver, which I've been using recently. He just kind of matched me. He wanted to give me a stiff shaft, something a little stiffer than what I was playing, which I've always kind of gravitated towards regular to stiff, closer to the stiff range. And he matched me with this. This is their Formula Extreme head, 7.5 degree. It came set just neutral on all the settings, which I've tried a few setting changes here, and I've gone right back to the neutral lie, neutral loft setting. So for me, that just feels better. I hit it a little bit better. Lance set me up with the this shaft is the. Let me see if I can get this in here. This is the Atmos Tour Spec 6X shaft, the black. This shaft is 69 grams, and this is playing the standard 45.5 inch length in the 1X flex. So, like I said, I'm about 4 rounds in now, and right off the bat, I kind of took it with a kind of a lie with the ball with normal tee height that I've been playing with my other driver. I wanted to swing it the same at first just to see how the ball went off, and it was great. It went a little low, but right off the bat I loved it. So then I just made some changes, started hitting up at it, teeing it up a little bit higher, and I have absolutely been crushing this thing. I hit it, I would say, for distance, I would rate it like a 10. For line and consistency, I would probably give it an 8.5, which I've only had one driver that I ever hit straighter, and this goes way further than that driver. So that's kind of where I would rate it. I absolutely love the feel of this driver. This shaft is a 69 gram, and for me, this setup feels really light, but not light to where I feel like I'm out of control with it. I feel very in control and stable with it. I do hit the ball really flush very consistently with this. With that said, I have hit some out of the heel, and I have hit some out of the toe, and it has been very forgiving. So far, I have had I have not had a round yet that I haven't had at least one ball go over 330. And most of the time I get at least the ball 340, and I've had one drive that went 380, and that's here in Florida, sea level. It's been pretty warm. It's been in the low to mid 80s every round, so the ball flies pretty good, but it doesn't roll anywhere because the ground here is very soft, so it pretty much pitches and stops. Even with a 7.5 degree, I'm not getting any roll because the surfaces are really soft. But I'm absolutely loving this driver. I would not have picked this shaft for myself, but it is absolutely perfect for me. It's my favorite shaft I've ever hit so far, and it kind of makes me rethink my long drive driver. So I do play a 4-degree 48-inch long driver, and I compared it the other day, this driver versus that driver, and I hit these the same distance, but I hit this one straighter. It's easier for me to swing, so definitely has me rethinking stuff, but I cannot be happier with this thing. It is fantastic. I have another one on the way. This one is obviously this is totally USGA conforming, by the way. I have another one on the way for my father. He swings, I think he averages about 92 miles an hour, so he's usually somewhere in the range of, 89, probably 85 when he first starts swinging, because it takes him a little while to get warmed up, and maybe 95, when he's freed up and swinging really well. But that one will be their non-conforming double X, and it'll be, I can't remember what shaft that's coming with, but whenever I get that, I'll do a review with him and kind of see how that matches up to some of the other drivers he's hit. But I've been hitting a Callaway for a while. I've switched around a lot recently. I have a lot of people that ask me to hit their drivers just for fun, because they all see me swing in the club and they just want to see how far I would hit their stuff. So I have been hitting a lot of stuff, and actually before this driver is pretty funny. My favorite driver was actually a 9-degree power built. So it just goes to show you that sometimes spending a lot more money on a driver isn't always the best. But this driver is by far the best playing driver I've ever hit. So highly recommend it. Krank Lance over there, he set me up perfectly with this combination. And he knows his stuff. So give him a try.